Present.
Here.
Rose Robertson. Out of here. R. Rodriguez.
Ramza.
We stand.
And I'm here.
Ramza.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Richard and Ramza are next to each other. Our names ran together there.
Richard.
No wonder. I'm sorry. We know you are here. Could you lead us for the flag salute?
Flag of the United States of America. And
Nation
under God, indivisible.
All right, can I get a motion?
I will move to accept the minutes as emailed.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, the financial. You wanna go over?
Yes, you're looking at the latest financials. The only change you're gonna see from the previous month is a charge from 10/7/2025, and that's from Tiger, Russell, and Marie. And those are for the polo shirts that were embroidered for our team. It was 8 shirts total. And that's the cost that for the embroidery of the polo shirts.
The 12,500 for July, August, September, and October, is that the transfer from the general fund into
Yes.
the bid?
Yes.
Is that where it comes from, the general fund?
Yep, that's the transfer from the general fund into the bid account. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions on financials?
So our ending balance is 151, 882.
That is correct.
And I'm just curious, what is our budget for this year?
I would have to grab the budget booklet to get that. Would you like me to put it on the next
Yeah,
agenda item
that's
for?
fine, yeah. I'm just curious, so that way we could plan accordingly, I guess. Can I get a motion to accept the financial as it presented?
I make a motion?
Second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right. We're gonna move into public comment. This is the time for any citizen to the address the commission on any issue appearing on this agenda. Time may be regulated to 5 minutes. Comments? State your name and address.
Yes. Hi, I'm Brian Ramirez. So just real quick, I'm gonna try to keep this as minimal as possible and as positive as possible. But I the Christmas parade was this Saturday, and as I stated before, it's not giving what it's supposed to give. And I'm gonna tie this into the bid because what is the point of trying to beautify Selma, focus on downtown? Like the song says, when the wonderful time of the year comes around, it's not happening. It's not there. As far as decorations, the tree is, like I said, I can probably remember those lights since I was like 5 years old. So if you compare it again, I hate the comparison, but we got to do it. Fowler, Kingsburg, Hanford, Wheatley, everybody has beautiful trees, decorations, and we don't. I'm sorry, but we don't. We need to start growing. We need to start beautifying that area, that incorporating newer things. Leave the outdated stuff behind. If funds are an issue, we have the bid, we have chamber, we have council, we have parks and recreation. Like, we can pull funds. I don't see why we can't. As far as the parade, I know that's a chamber thing, but why can't we? I think it was like what 20 minutes. I spoke to one of my coworkers earlier today, and she attended the Sanger one. That one was over. It was like 2 hours. There was over 100 entries. Um, really also has a really good parade. Dinuba again. Um, why can't we incorporate the schools? There's I believe I've seen Dinuba schools in their parade. The buses. Just get everybody involved. This is what Selma's about: being community, getting together. Getting that whole picture perfect. Holiday movie thing going on. I went to Kingsburg as well. Beautiful, 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 beautiful setup. Their downtown, their trees, their lights, everything. That area where it says North Pole, you take a picture. Oh my God, it's just breathtaking. Like I said, we're really behind. We're really left. We're really being left in the dust. So again, like I said, if we're gonna focus on downtown, this is downtown. You pass by and you see the tree right there. Now, if there's sentimental value to that tree. Why can't we have two trees? Who says we can't have two trees? One at the plaza and one at an intersection like I proposed before, maybe over by Maiden Void, that intersection over there with with those warm lights, with a nice star, because this one only has I think only has like 4 lights. So that's just my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else?
Stella Ramirez, Selma resident. I just want to piggyback off of, previous, speaker. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I just want to piggyback off of that. It's true. Yeah, I've seen on social media, there was a lot of negative comments stating that it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. It's very short. The Santa wasn't very friendly and all that other stuff. I just want to say that maybe if we just, like Brian said, pull together committees, really get the ball rolling and get to where we're supposed to be. Thank you. To get to where we're supposed to be, as far as, making it seem like a really, really good Christmas, really Hallmark kind of theme Christmas. Like, I don't know if they can do this, but get some snow out there. I don't know what town did it, but they got like a snow machine, you know, um, make it earlier. That's another thing. I didn't attend because it was so cold. And I think that if we brought it up to 4 o'clock, maybe that would help get more attendance, because a lot of people didn't go because they were saying too that it was too cold for the kids and for themselves. So I just wanted to state that and then get other entries. I don't know if the chamber, they charge or not, but if they charge, making it a reasonable price. If it's free, even better. Just maybe put trees out there. We gotta not just leave it to the chamber. We're a community. So we gotta pull together and make it, for all of us better. Uh, Maybe get, even I think Kingsburg did it, but they didn't do it this year. Get a car show involved, get vintage cars out there, decorate them. Get a lot of people that have different, like if they have cars or just different ideas, let them participate. Let's just make it better. Trees, bring in more trees. Maybe we can get trees donated, like they said, Home Depot, other area, other company stores that can donate. We can, pull that together maybe. I don't know, just a lot of ideas that we can bring to the table if we all stick together and plan this right for possibly for next year. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else? Bingani, also the president for the chamber, we try to do the best we can. I could tell you from my own perspective, and we are shortage on the people on these kind of events. These events are required more people to be help out there, like we discussed before. Parents needs to be involved on the kids, and now used to be we have ROTC, and they're no longer able to be help us out because if there's a laws that you can't put the kids out there. and to be handle the traffic and so forth. So Michael's at the city, he's doing a great job. He done great jobs out there. We try to do the best we can, and next year, we take these comments, we need to work together maybe as a chamber and getting better. But people loved it, so that's what a bottom part of it. This Christmas parade is awesome. We've been doing it a few years, so it's great, and we're getting improvements. We do need to make improvements on it, and we do charge the vendors very small amounts, $50 per vendor. Maybe we need to look into the more money, or maybe hire some security guards, or if we can't get a PD helps out there, or for the city costing more money, something we need to figure out. And but we do need a more community needs to be involved in this event if you want to make it bigger. That's you have some
Yeah,
comments.
I have a
Yeah.
couple of suggestions that I had
Sure.
mentioned to the chamber in the past, and I can bring them again here. First of all, this is like they mentioned, it's a community event. I think the chamber needs to ask for collaboration from other entities so they can handle it and make it bigger, because it sounds like that the chamber is not being able to do the outreach it needs to get everybody involved. There's ways to decorate the tree better. Ask each business to sponsor a nice big ornament. Other cities have done it. They could choose to put the business name on it or not put the business name on it. That's up to them. But each downtown business or any business in Selma can sponsor an ornament or a string of lights or whatever it is, and come and hang it at the tree, and they can post that on their social media as a way to be a good community member. Also ask businesses to sponsor trees in front of their stores, like Kingsburg does. So instead of decorating just their storefront inside, if there's a way to put them outside, but we need a little bit more police presence, because I've heard in the past that people don't do it because homeless steal them. So if theft is
So
an issue,
Let's revisit that as an item and talk about what that collaboration looks like, since
Okay.
this is just public comment right now. It's definitely a future agenda item that we would love to include the rest
Yeah.
of the chamber, as well as other organizations that are a downtown entity. Like, we could
Yeah.
have a collaborative committee to see what that looks like.
cool.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
Great comments. So yeah, we'll look into the.
Also,
future.
Nick, can you remind the community when the chamber meetings are held and where they're held at, where we can give feedback?
Yeah, the chambers meeting is every month. It's a Friday of
Every first Friday.
first Friday,
7:30.
7:30 in the morning. And if anybody want to come and put your comments, and we would love to take it. And we're working on it. We need more people out there to involve. Again, these events is not a one organization. It's a collaboration. We need it, but we need more people to involve on it. Chambers have certain people, and they're not available, during these kind of events. So if other people could come and help us out, that would be great. And like Karen, he was handling one intersection, I was handling other one, and city was handling a lot of traffic all over. So we need more people out there to make these great events. We're gonna move into the regular business. Notice to the public, member of the audience may speak on any items not appearing on the agenda, but the commissions may regulate the time allowed to the speak to 5 minutes. Um, Discussion item, we're gonna start with our new city manager introduction.
Mr. Soto, can I interrupt really quick? Sorry, city manager. I wanted to give an opportunity for our newest bid member. I should have put this on the
Yes.
agenda,
Yes.
but we're in regular business now. If our newest bid member, Mateo Rodriguez, would like to introduce himself, a little bit about your background, and so that the folks online can learn a little bit about you.
Hi, my name's Mateo Rodriguez. I've formerly been on the Parks, Recreation and Community Service Commission. I'm the chair of the Selma Healthcare District. And the business we run is 559 Fights right here downtown. And then I also do I have my own marketing consulting company that I do that with. Connect a lot of people. It's kind of what I do.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your introduction. Welcome to the bid. We are here, same cause as you in working on the other communities, the committees, and we'd love to have you on the board. Thank you. All right, go ahead.
Hey, with us, we have, it's a night of introductions. We have our newest city manager, Jason Rogers. Allow him to-
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. If my voice goes out, I apologize, but I've been losing it today. No, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be working with the city. I look forward to working with all of you as we move forward, revitalizing the downtown, you know, making it what we all envision it to be. It's beautiful, walking around on Saturday with my wife and kids, you know, they were loving it. They enjoyed the parade. Jose and I were meeting, talking about some stuff too that, you know, yeah, let's form a collaboration between, you know, all of our various entities so that way we can, you know, see stuff get done and bigger and better than everybody else around us. And that's what I'm looking forward to doing and working with you on. And I'm just really happy to be here with all of you today.
Thank you, Mr. Roger. The bid is created, the Business Improvement District, you know, so we have, some our goals needs to be matched, you know, and obviously you probably, working with Jose, so we love to be work with you to achieve those our goal to making our downtowns, communities to be better, have a more business friendly and more people to be coming into our downtowns. We have some business owners in our board right here, you know, we have different type of businesses, you know. So we love to have you on it and helping us out and which way we need to move. Obviously, without the city, we really can't, you know, give you guys our inputs. So we seeing you, I'm pretty sure in the future, you know.
Yes,
So-
thank you. And feel free to stop by anytime if you want to chat about, you know, what's going on in the city. I'm available and I'm more than happy to meet with everyone.
Thank you. We're
Thank
looking
you.
forward to working with you. Have any questions from our board?
How does your family like it here?
Oh, they like it. And my son keeps passing by the little gaming place, Atries, and keeps wanting to go in there and probably spend a whole day. So, I told him one day he can come with me to work and then I'll probably never see him. So,
He'll be open.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, no, we have a great community. We
Yeah.
have diversity a lot here in our towns and we really want to be you know, better, you know, so but we are really doing a lot of events in our towns. That's I love it here in Selma. And when you hear from the outside people and then it makes really feel good. You know, when other cities talking about it. I was the other day with the parlier, they said, hey, you guys do tons of stuff. I said, yeah, we do. You know, those are the things, the proud things that I love here, you know?
Yeah,
And, yeah, thank you again.
thank you.
We have a Public Works update.
Yes, along with downtown revitalization comes a lot of projects that are ongoing, the tree wells and other items. And I invited Director Michael Hahn here, Public Works Director, to kind of give us some updates and give you guys the opportunity to ask questions about the projects and the direction we're going in. He presents these things at council, but I just wanted to create a space for him to share it with you guys as well, to kind of get an idea of where we're at with some downtown projects.
Good evening. So what you have before you is actually a little bit of information that I uncovered trying to just understand a little more with the downtown tree wells, kind of how we got there. This was before my start with the city in November of 23. Going back and looking at invoices and proposals by contractors, it looks like somewhere around July of 2019 is when we had the city had a contractor come in to remove the trees from the tree wells. What you have in front of you is a list. Every address or location on this list is within the downtown district map. If you look at the top, it shows you a total of 27 areas that we remove trees. 22 of them have decomposed granite in them. The concrete was never poured back. And 5 of them, the concrete was restored. So with that being said, the discussion recently has been completing the High Street project, and there are several different options there. We wanted to originally concrete them back, which my staff is planning on starting tomorrow. We've had some unfortunate events the last week or so. So we're trying to regroup and move forward with that work. So we will be starting on that and the backfilling. But tonight was a great opportunity, and Jose, I appreciate you inviting me here because it gives a good opportunity for us to discuss not only High Street, but kind of the big picture. Like, what are we trying to accomplish here? And again, we're not delaying getting the work down on High Street done. That's what I promised to get done by the end of the month. And that's what we're moving forward with. What I'd like to discuss is the design that we have in the downtown district with the brick inlay. So what I want to discuss about that is that if you move around the downtown area where we have existing sidewalk with brick inlay, you're going to find that there's several locations that the colors don't match. The one's a darker adobe color, some are really bright red. The new ones here where we just did the work to get the drainage proper in the City Hall parking lot is very bright. And I've dealt with this problem a little bit in the past when I ran the encroachment department for the City of San Luis Obispo. If any of you have been in downtown San Luis, there is the Mission District. Mission District has a mission style and color of concrete with a tile in bed, just like we have the brick. The City of San Luis, when they first adopted that design, they were running into the same issues. It didn't look aesthetically right because there were different colors of tile. The way that tile and block works is if you don't buy an allotment for the entire run, the colors change. The material changes that they're using to build and fire the block. So what I wanted to just put in everybody's head here is that, me and my supervisor and my street maintenance people, we've been talking about different options. And I really think that an option that would be good, and again, I'm not going to stop what we're doing on High Street. We can readdress that, but I think having a ribbon that we have a city logo stamp for the concrete made to where we can remove the brick and still have that ribbon, but do it maybe in a colored concrete with a stamp to where you don't have to worry about the color change. And the reason I say you don't have to worry is that when you work with a mix design and an engineer at a concrete company, you design the mix specific to exactly what the additives are for our mix color. So anytime we have a CIP project or we're replacing that sidewalk, we literally call in our mix design to the plant, and it's guaranteed to match the color every time. So that's an option. I just want everyone to, number one, think about the amount of locations, 22 of them right now that aren't currently concreted. They have decomposed granite, which was a suggestion from a council member, I believe, at one of the meetings, but I want to be sure that before we go and use resources and money to put something back together, that it's not going to be something that when we start addressing these other locations, now we're going, man, we just poured, I think I have 12 of them on High Street that have to be poured back that were in the sidewalk. So it's just, I wanted to bring that up and bring it to the attention of the bid committee to just consider that and understand that, again, we don't want to waste resources. So I want to be as considerate to that as possible. So again, for my update, we are moving forward starting tomorrow. I have a meeting in the morning as soon as we finish our morning safety meeting with my street maintenance 2 and my supervisor. We are going to start pulling plates and backfilling those back up to the level where we need to put the concrete in. It does give us a little time if somebody directed, us to go a different direction. I'm looking at the city manager, my new boss over here, which by the way, he's doing a great job. It's just, there's a lot there. And again, the comment has come up in the past and it's very understandable that we're taking too long, but I want, again, everybody to understand me as a director. I try to think as far forward as I can. And because I've uncovered this list from 2019, which I wasn't aware of, all the locations, I wanted to understand how many spots do we have? I think there's a little more to consider here as far as what we want the overall downtown district to look like, to what the identifiers are, the signs that are white backing with blue letters and the logo instead of the blue backing with the white letters. Quick identifier. You see that, you're like, I'm in the downtown district. They do the same thing in San Luis. Mission District has the logo. You don't even have to think about it. You see it, you're in the downtown district or the Mission District. So we are moving forward with a backfill. One of the things that I would like to discuss further maybe tonight is that if there's any way that we would possibly think about putting any kind of drought resistant plants in those areas in the sidewalk just to make it a little more decorative, that would be something that would be good to discuss tonight because when we start backfilling, all of those locations that currently have the steel plates are open around all of the water lines, the electrical, everything. So if that was something that would be considered as possibly, hey, we want to do this, when we start filling that up, we want to tie into that pipe and bring it up to the surface before we fill everything up, if that makes sense. So currently the plan is to move forward backfilling and all the concrete, put the concrete back in those locations on High Street and replace the brick. So we'll be starting on that tomorrow and moving forward unless directed otherwise tonight.
Director Hahn, for clarity, you're talking about every space that's covered with the metal plate, right? Is that what you're speaking about?
So yes, the work that I'm speaking of finishing before the end of the month is to complete the High Street work that we've just done with the new trees and the new planters. That would be all the street plate locations on both sides of High Street. Correct.
So that's where you're.
That was just something that I wanted everybody to consider because those holes are all the way down. They're 2.5, 3 feet deep because we removed all that root ball and stuff that was in there to access the existing infrastructure to run it over to the new location. So yes, that would be the time before we start filling the dirt in and compacting that back. That would be the time if we wanted to think about that to run that pipe up to the surface before we fill it.
It's perfect time.
Yeah.
To do that. Proactive and having it there if we need it,
Right.
in my opinion.
Yeah, but again, if the plan is not to put anything there and we want to concrete it, I don't want to spend the time or the resources to tie into all that and bring it up to the surface and then just cover it with concrete.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bringing that to as a discussion.
Michael, I have a questions on this. This sidewalk, it's a 10-foot wide or 12-foot wide?
I believe it's 8 from
8-foot
back
wide?
of curb to building, but don't quote me on that. I would have to go check.
Okay, so I thought it's a 10-foot. Maybe I'm wrong.
It could be a 10-foot.
I mean, ADA requires a 42-inch just to be people to be walk. And there are plenty other trees. I'm pretty sure you are familiar with it. Those roots doesn't go that far out. And I know we pulled those trees out. Those trees wasn't supposed to be there because their roots are way far getting it. But there's are some other trees are available out there. Their roots only like Chinese pistachio you guys putting in. And those goes maximum 5 feet by 5 feet, 4 by 4 or something like that. There's the other trees. We can't place those trees where these square pieces are and have them. Did the city look into it before or is that out of the?
We have not looked into that. We spent probably 2.5 weeks trying to remove all of the root and the root ball that had grown around the electrical and the water line, because that runs directly behind the back of the curb,
Okay.
where the back occurred, but down about 18 to 22 inches. So it's an option, but the work that would go into removing the rest of what's below that infrastructure, because we took it down about a foot below the pipe that we had to tie into to give us room to do the connections. But the rest of it's dead, and it won't grow or expand or anything, but there's still root ball down there. So again, I don't know. I've just got to the contract from 2019 today, found this information. I don't know what the contract was when they removed the trees, but the root balls are still there.
Yeah, because I see on a Golden State Highway that are old 99, the counties, they planted in the median, nice, those trees. I don't know why we can't put them some cypress trees, nice looking, like at Kingsburg downtown or Ridley or somewhere else that we could plant it in there. One, roots won't go that far out. Something, I mean, to make it nicer downtown.
What about an option of something like a planter area, not necessarily a tree, a deep rooted species, something that was maybe raised above? So anything going up, working above what's there now would be easier than trying to go down, like cleaning that out to put a species that's going to survive with that existing root ball. So if anything, I think that would be maybe a good location. I mean, there's tons of options. I'm
Yeah.
from wine country on the coast, so like we like half barrels and like plants, beautiful flowers and stuff, but there's a lot of options there. I mean,
And I know, there's some landscapers out there, when they pull the trees, those leftover, they put them salt in it. They cut them up, they put a salt in it, and then they put them in.
so,
Where-
right.
Then those get destroyed.
So we actually, when we removed what root ball we had to, my guys actually drilled with a 1-inch auger bit, a whole hog bit, and we bought poison from Nelson's Hardware. We actually poured that in there. And that's to make sure that the actual roots are dead, that they're not going to continue to grow. So that was part of what we did during that removal.
Yeah.
But again, there's still some of those are pretty big chunks that we located. They were all wrapped around all the utilities. It took quite a bit of effort to just get that cleared enough to make the connections.
So I just want to understanding, so there are 22 planters that you guys needs to be covered up, correct?
There is 22 of them on this list, and none of them that I see, I see one of them on this list that is at 1967 High Street. None of the rest of those are on High Street. So I would say all but that one, I assume, are not on the High Street location where we currently have the plates. Those are other areas that are within the downtown district. I can tell you quite a few of these are on East Front. If you turn off of Second and turn, you can see quite a few of them. Some of the businesses have put like little planters and flowers out there, but they're still down like this far below the actual sidewalk elevation. So there's quite a few of them around, again, just that downtown district area.
The one on those High Street that you guys did, those are, I mean, very wide, the planter, I mean, you guys built those curbs all around it. And is that really need that big for those kind of trees?
Are you talking about the ones on the road?
The one on the road?
Well, because the intention, again, is we still have to finish those with the decorative rock and put the other little plants in there. I don't think the intention was to just have a big planter with one tree in it. There's still more to finish all of that.
Oh, okay. That's
So
what I thought.
it is not done, and that's part of what the recommendations that council's asked us to bring before them, some recommendations.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Ramza?
Yeah, so that was my question. Since we moved the trees to the road and we are adding like a form of planters around it, we want it downtown also to be pedestrian and bike friendly. Do we want to add additional planters in the sidewalk that takes away from that accessibility to other people? It's additional expense. It makes the sidewalk smaller. I love flowers and all of that, but I know also it takes maintenance, and it doesn't matter how drought resistant they are. It's going to take water. It's going to take manpower to remove the weeds, all of that, and maintain them pretty. Because also people tend to throw trash in those, or I don't know if there is a need personally. I mean, just the thought, if we're making all those planters where the new trees went in, pretty and with flowers and all of that, do we also need to add additional planters on the sidewalk? I don't know if there would be a need for that because it's just added work.
Yeah.
for you
I
guys.
also have a question. So you talking about lifting them, how long is that gonna take?
It's just an idea, Mrs. Robertson. I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you want to do.
Well, I know you're gonna need to get more input from others,
Right.
council,
So-
city manager, but my question would be, if they do decide to go that route, I'd like to know how long that's gonna take.
So I can't state how long that project would take, but I can tell you what I'm looking for is if that's a consideration that the bid committee is looking at, my recommendation today at this point would be to not concrete the ones on High Street, but fill them up and then put the top 4 inches or so, Nick, with compacted decomposed granite down about half inch to keep it from migrating during rain into the street. That way it's covered. It's not a trip fall hazard. It doesn't look terrible. It's just got the DG like all the other ones are, a lot of them are filled with right now. And that gives the committee an opportunity to decide what they might want to do for that option. Because again, I'm just trying to think of if this is like what we're highlighting right now.
Yeah.
And if this is what we want to do, we're already looking at more grant money to finish the Clean California grant from the east side of the tracks where our grant currently is going to stop and continue that right on down to Rose Street. So what I'm looking at is the universal look that we're going for, because I don't want to do work here if this is what we're showcasing first, if it's not going to be uniform around the rest of the downtown district. That's what I'm speaking of.
We can't really put the pots like big ones and have them grow some flowers in it. I seen it. Some towns have them, right? You know what I mean? Talking about.
Right.
Yeah, then have them the waters out there and
Right, and so that would be an instance where if we wanted to do something like that, which is not a bad idea, even if it's temporary,
yeah.
I would want to go ahead and bring that water up to the surface, then I can run the drip up to
Then
the
drip
plant.
into there. It looks
And it-
nicer.
Right, and again, that could be a temporary, long-term temporary option
Temporary
until
option.
a complete design's done. I don't want to get too deep into this, but I can tell you, we just finished the first session of our revised city standards. We covered a lot, but I can tell you one of the things that I'm pushing for during phase 2 is this downtown district needs to be identified clearly in our standards. And so these meetings are very constructive to try to help city staff understand what direction we're going, because anytime we have a contractor that comes and does work, once the committee and the council decide what direction they want to go, that's in the standard, then it gets attached to your plans when you do the work in that area. And Nick, when you cut in that sidewalk, this is what you have to put back.
Definitely.
So it's part of universalizing all of that. It's a big picture, so.
Big picture,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, from my own opinion is that have them maybe fill it out with the stamped concrete, City of Selma or whatever. Have them put that, leave that pics out there for the water and have them, temporarily putting some pots, then later on figure out what we're gonna do. Or something, or leave it alone, or just have them, buried it and, but it's up to you guys how the cities look into it as far as the money wise.
Right.
Just
And-
so just a reminder, this is just a discussion item right now. There's no
Yeah,
action
yeah,
to be
yeah.
taken, so you could take the feedback of consideration for that.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions about any other downtown improvements, including like the lighting? We're gonna get to the trash cans, later in the agenda. Does anybody have any other questions about the trees and the lights?
But the signs, are we gonna change it? I know way back at the bid, we discussed about changing the street signs, have them logo on it.
Have you guys got just a second? Give me about 30 seconds and I'll come back.
Oh,
I
you
got
have it?
something you guys can look at.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
I have a question for you. So when we did the design element for downtown, all these, the plans, the facades, the lighting, the street signs, all of that was already discussed supposedly and finalized and voted on. Is it not being shared with Public Works?
So it's not finalized. It's approved by this board, but from what I understand, it has to go to a planning, like.
Okay, so do we need to hold off on anything until that is done? Because it seems a lot of his
This
questions.
sounds like an infrastructure issue as
Oh,
opposed to
okay.
like the colors and the canopies. That's what that is. We talked about, remember
No,
we had
like
those visuals.
plants,
Yeah.
stamped concrete
Yeah.
signs, which we saw that one.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
When we did this, we had just started our printer and our sign shop. We were running color testing. This was an accident. But the downtown logo, this is a sticker. I brought this to council and actually.
Awesome.
When we did it. I did as another identifier. Liked it. They just, the only recommendation was a sticker.
Okay, yeah,
This was
that's what I
just a
would say too.
sticker. We'll actually print the logo on. This is. All the rest of our signs are blue with white letters,
Oh, oh, okay, that's opposite.
so this would be the.
The downtown stickers, hopefully it doesn't fade it out in a year later. You know.
Well, it will be.
It'll be-
printed.
It will be. It will print it on.
That's what the sticker that Alicia had,
Oh,
and
okay.
when I did it, I wanted to show council. Remember it well, so yeah.
Any other inputs from our boards?
Just
Anything?
to break it down, okay, just from my understanding, the tree wells are, all the trees that were taken out, right?
Correct.
Okay, so then there's, a couple of options we have here, either with the stamping or putting, planters there, right?
Yeah, you have any option that you can
So-
imagine.
If we consider these options, I think it would be good to have a map, kind of like how you showed us the trash can placements as well, where we see these wells as well as the ones on High Street, and that way we can get a better picture of what the benches that we're bringing in, the trash cans, the placement on those, and then I think it would be cool to consider putting planters on some of those tree wells.
A good idea. That way we could look at it, you know, something.
That's why I said you could do it as a temporary, long-term and let people give you some feedback and just kind of see what it looks like. And that way we're not spending the money to pour the concrete just to rip it out and do something different
Yeah.
if the committee chooses to do so.
Yeah.
Or with council.
Great.
And
You have,
if,
yes.
All these tree wells, are they the same size or are they various sizes throughout?
most of them are the same size. They're about 4x4.
Okay.
Yeah, inside dimension, but they all have the brick inlay, 2-brick inlay all the way around them. And that's why I wanted to be clear about what I'm speaking about with the stamp is that if we want to go with some kind of a ribbon design that's universal for the downtown district, I think we should just consider something besides the block, the brick. The city of Selma went and bought a huge allotment of tile and it's being stored with the local company there, Blocklight, and that's why they can match it, because when contractors do a CIP, they have to purchase the tile from that allotment. But the city of Selma can't afford to go and purchase an allotment of block. But if we have a mixed design with a color specified and we come up with a city stamp, any contractor doing the CIP would use our stamp to stamp that colored concrete ribbon. And going forward, if you chose to do that, the removal of the block ribbon and the pouring of that colored stamped concrete in that little area, you could get probably quite a bit of that done in a CIP project. So.
Thank you for bringing that up. Now we could look into it, you know, hopefully the next meeting, you know, we decided. Any public, any input, any questions, any on this item? Anybody have any questions or want to say any comments? All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Director Hahn, if I could have you stay for the trash can discussion, I'm sure there'll be some questions about that.
All right,
I'm gonna get through this quickly.
next item is Small Business Saturday wrap up.
Sorry, sir. I'm trying to share my screen. Give me 1 second. We're going here. And I apologize if you're in the council meeting this weekend. This is, I presented this information there. So first of all, I want to say thank you all, your donations, your attendance, helping with the raffle, setup, breakdown. I really appreciate you all, making the event, successful. The raffle was a big hit amongst our community members. It was a good time. And one of the things when we do these events, we always had an issue of like, oh, if it's not a ticketed event, how do we know how many people are attending? Like, how do we know people are coming? So the city's invested in this software called Placer AI, and it tracks attendance and it tracks movement based on cell phone data. So if you have like a weather app, if you have like Yelp, it pulls all this data from those companies and it places people in a selected area, whether it can be a shopping center or it can be a block or it could be a building. But again, it's an estimate. It's not an exact head count. It's not going to say 5 people in your business at this time. It's just like how television ratings work. They don't know the exact number, but they take a sample and then they make an adjustment like this was a popular place to be. So that's what we're looking at with Placer AI. It uses a lot of data from your cell phones. And again, it's completely anonymous. We don't know a person's name, where they're at. It's just kind of sampling the attendance of something. So when you're looking at the screen right now, you're going to see our numbers from 2024 to 2025. If you're familiar with 2024, it was more like just a post on social media. It wasn't a big event, how we were trying to promote it. So you'll see a little bit of the work that you all were doing to help get this out. I'm gonna move this over. If you look at the left with the family, you're going to see that in 2024, we had about 1,000 visitors in the downtown area, compared to this year with 1,700. And just for clarity, the map is the High Street area and also including the Robertson Guerra parking lot, which is where we held all the activities. So I kind of measured that. The next important indicator is right under it is the dwell time. That means how long they're staying in our downtown. So in 2024, you'll see they were here for about 61 minutes. In 2025, 108 minutes. So that's a significant increase that we can indicate that they were hanging around, shopping, having some coffee, visiting the thrift shops. And that really increases the quality of visits. Placer AI measures everything by visits. And you could tell that's a quality visit of somebody who's not just running an errand, going into a bank, but they're actually hanging out downtown. So that's something that we want to look at in the future. In the bottom with the shop at the bottom left, one of the top places that folks visited for this particular day was the craft fair, Maiden Voyage, My Vintage Thrift Boutique, Nelson's Hardware, and Bead Central. So that corner was a very popular corner for this event, and they all migrated over to our craft fair area, where we're having the raffles and there was vendors over there. And just to give you some more background, this time is measured from the time of 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock, the time of our event. So that's how we know. That's the ratio. So it's important to know who's coming down. Selma's downtown is becoming a destination spot. It always has been with the art center. But we're seeing who visited in 2024. You see 30% were from Selma. In 2025, 44.9% were from Selma, which means more local folks got the message of like, hey, there's something going on. Let's go out and support. The other indicator you're going to see under that is people visiting from other towns. So Fresno had a 9% of the visitors from Fresno, and that's a huge indicator compared to last year when it was almost nothing. So the folks from Fresno and the bigger markets got the message to come to downtown and see what we have to offer. Next, you have Fowler, Kingsburg, Greeley, Parley, and Tulare, all broken down in smaller percentages. So you can kind of see where our visitors are coming from, and that basically tracks their zip code of like where they're coming from to visit our downtown area. So this is just the metrics that's available on Placer AI. It's a very powerful tool. There's a lot more to learn. I'm digging in. I've been taking some webinars, trying to see how we could leverage it for future business development issues, but also for grant work. We could say, hey, we had 5,000 people come to this event. Please give us money to expand the event. It's a very powerful tool for a lot of different things. So I want to say thank you again. I consider the event successful. I went through and I walked and talked to a lot of the businesses, and they said they saw significant increases, and they're very happy that we did something like this to encourage folks to come out and spend money in their shops. So it was a great turnout, and I thank you all again. Any questions about the data? Any questions about the event?
So you get this from cell phone is tracked, how many people get in there?
Yeah. So Placer AI tracks anonymously cell phone signals using different. They have contracts with other companies, whether it's like Facebook or the weather app or sports app. So it pulls all this data and says this cell phone signal was here at this place. It's not a specific person, but it says how much traffic it got.
The future, you guys could track it, each event, how many people comes there?
We can track the event numbers. Again, it's not an exact head count. But one of the most important things about it is tracking behavior. So I can see that after they left our downtown area, they went to Walmart or they went to KFC. Like it gives you indicators of like what people are doing, how they're shopping, what their behaviors are. It breaks it down to demographic. Is it a one person income, multiple people? So it gives us a lot of data on the back end I didn't put on the screen. So it helps encourage economic development. It helps attract other businesses. It helps attract big box stores when we say, hey, this is what we have. This is the people coming here aren't just from Selma, and we have the data to prove it now. It's just fine tuning it and building, visuals like this to tell the story.
I just like to say that at the end of the day, the domino effect is it continues to bring revenue to our city. I think being there, attending that event was successful. I would recommend maybe out push it an hour maybe. When we're getting close to closing up everything, it was so packed on the street. A lot of people were in the street driving, wondering what was happening. So that's the reason why I would say maybe an hour. And then we need maybe 3 gallons of the 5 gallon hot chocolate, not one 5 gallon chocolate went quickly. Thank you.
Yeah, the raffles and the hot chocolate was very popular for this event. But definitely making adjustments in time is appreciated. Fox Drugs said that there were people there to the exact minute that they were closing because they were still shopping. So maybe some of the shops will stay open longer that day. But it was an opportunity for us to show the downtown businesses like, hey, it's a collaborative effort, and they all really bought into the event.
That's great. Good job, Jose. All right, then we're gonna move into the action items. Item number 4, trash cans.
Okay, so from our previous meetings, you saw I kind of laid out the trash cans. I don't have a presentation for this. It should be in your agenda packet. I laid out kind of a space where we can put the trash cans last time to get an idea of what's appropriate. And high traffic areas is 100 feet to 150 feet. Some areas is 300 feet. So with that information, it's now time to find the trash cans we like, find the vendor we like, and get an actual cost. With that, me and Public Works Director Han visited a local business in Sanger called Kings River Casting. The reason we went there is because they currently do our benches and they currently do our trash cans. And we went to see what kind of inventory they offer. And in the packet, you're going to see one trash can that they offer that has the opportunity to put the logo on the front. And it meets all of the Public Works wants and needs with it. And I'll let Director Han get into that. Do you want to just chime in on why you really like that can?
Right, I don't know if any of the current bid members went on the field trip with me. Okay, so Parmenter and about 5 of us took a field trip last year to the Kings River Castings Foundry in Sanger on North Avenue. And the reason why we started there was because we currently have a lot of assets that we purchased from Kings River Foundry, not just trash cans, but even the wood slatted benches, all those wood slats that we replaced, those are all Kings River Foundry benches. The other reason was over 44 years of reputation. They are a big player worldwide. They are the Disney contractor for Disney worldwide. And, it's come up that we want to try to stay as local with local vendors as possible. And even though they are from Sanger, that's still one of our partner cities that's just real close right here to Selma. And, when we started going down the road a year and a half ago when Alicia was running the committee, The first thing that came up with was the trash cans. The trash cans that are in your packet that Director Moreno and I looked at last week in our tour with the manager has a couple of things that we like. One thing is, if you notice, it has a locking door where the insert comes out. That's something we really are kind of mandating citywide for our trash receptacles because of the issue that we have with people getting in the garbage cans and pulling trash out, looking for recycled stuff. The other thing that's a feature on that you'll see is it's lifted off the ground. It actually sits about 3 inches off the concrete. And that's a maintenance lifetime, it's a extended life for maintenance added feature. And what that does is when it rains, it keeps that thing from sitting down and rotting out on the bottom and rusting. So that's another feature. And the last feature on that one that we really like is it has the rain canopy that's over the top. And what that is for when it's raining, we're not getting trash cans that are full. Because keep in mind, you know, a lot of the recycle stuff, it's weighted. It's weighed rather. And so because of California SB 1383 and all the recycling stuff, we don't want to add to the weight of what we're getting rid of. So it's a feature that's becoming very common around municipalities all over California and I think the nation. So those were our recommendations as for what Kings River Foundry had close to what the bid committee had looked at. And again, Director Moreno, as he mentioned, there's options to put the city logo on there in a manufactured tag that they can rivet to it. There's options to do the logo in a like an electrolysis etching where it's etched in, which Director Moreno kind of like, he wants the colors of the logo. He thought that would be better. When you etch it, you go down to bare metal, so it's like silver, regardless of what color receptacle you have. So. And again, we're trying to be as universal as we can because for maintenance reasons, the more universal we are, the more cost effective and efficient public works staff is for maintaining these citywide, not just in the downtown area.
These are black color, not a blue.
There are multiple colors.
Yeah, they do their own powder coating on site. So there's a chart, a color chart, Director Moreno has there. There's several colors to choose from.
How many totals are, sorry, out there we need to replace? How many total trash cans?
Director Moreno created a list himself based on the measurements, the length or the distance between, as he just spoke about a minute ago. Looks like that's the list there, but we talked about a couple of different things. One thing is keep in mind, like on High Street, especially from Second all the way down to even Aaron's, you have one restaurant at Antonio's, you have one coffee shop at Maiden Voyage, and now we have the Twisted Pretzel place, I think that's going to come in eventually right on the corner there. So think about like, how many recycling receptacles do you need? What recycling are going to be coming out of those shops, and where do you need the actual trash receptacles so that you're not like stacking a bunch of trash cans in there that aren't really needed. So that's kind of why he devised the map right there. And we have a map floating around somewhere in my file that I could find. We did not identify specific locations. We literally went around when we were working with Alicia a year ago and just counted how many assets we had in the downtown district, and I can provide that information at a later date.
I'm just curious, all trash cans or is some of them is gonna be recycling ones?
That's what needs to be discussed. Do we want singles? We took, Director Moreno and I were speaking with Mario, the manager, about having side-by-sides. But then we talked about where do you need the side-by-sides? Because you really need the trash receptacles, but how much recycling? Do you really need a compost recycler, the green one, because you have one restaurant? So those are all things that need to be considered for, where you're going to place those receptacles. What we don't want to do is burn up your budget putting a bunch of stuff in that you don't need, no one's going to use. And I'll tell you right now, we have recycle receptacles all over town that people throw trash in that need to be changed out. And we're working on that. It's a big plan, but so that just needs to be considered in your decisions.
Yeah, I would say whereas, like at banks and all that stuff, more recycling would works better. Where there's, that are more, people are office kind of people, maybe. And in front of the restaurants, probably trash, and they all depend on the area.
Right.
Is this Second Street's gonna be, you guys are improving to from 99, right? Is that?
That is correct. That is our Clean California grant that we
Okay.
received for $3 million, and we're 98% finished with design with A&M Engineering, who is our awarded consulting engineering firm for the design, going through that process with Caltrans. So yes, that will be the southbound and the northbound off-ramps. And then carrying that project all the way across to Wilkins Hamburger Stand, just shy of the railroad tracks on West Front Street.
Gotcha.
I would like to see this with the map, maybe add. I mean, if we need to approve some today, we can to a certain amount, and maybe if we don't need to use them all, if that's the direction we need to go to, at least approve something. But I would like to also see this in the map, just so we could all have it come together nicely.
Absolutely. So what you're seeing up there on the screen right now are is the map, and the blue ones are the trash can / recycling receptacles. And the red ones are the art cans that we haven't gone to yet. Right now we're just developing the standard trash can that we want to have. So this was measured out at 100 feet, 150 feet. We can do less if we feel like we don't need them every 100 feet, and I could revisit the spacing. I can do that and bring it back to the next meeting. I guess the big thing is like, do we like these cans? That's kind of what I want you guys to talk about. That way we can get a fixed cost and we can kind of go from there. And they do offer, I think Director Hahn mentioned, they do offer a split recyclable trash in one can, and it's like a divider. But like Director Hahn said, at the event on Saturday, everybody was just throwing trash in the recyclables. So I don't know how effective that really is. Clearly labeling one blue can, one black. I'm just throwing black. It could be any color, or one blue for recycle, one black, and then indicating recycling only might help us. But if it's both in one can, there's less of a chance that they're actually going to use them accordingly.
My recommendation would be to not do the split can.
Question, besides just your general knowledge of how much people throw recycling in the trash, were there any other ways of looking, or do you have any suggestions of any other ways to look at how much trash versus recycle comes out of areas downtown? Like, what the east side of it versus like the west side of the downtown?
That would be something, so Mid Valley, who is our waste hauler currently in contract, that would be something I would have to work through with them. I'm sure that we could come to some kind of end result with that. I don't know how accurate it would be, but they're the ones that come through, and part of their contract is to empty all of those cans. So
Okay.
my staff does it during events because they get so full, we have to, so that the following day when business is open. But I could discuss that with Mid Valley and see if there was a way we could come up with some kind of tonnage or number regarding that.
I was gonna suggest instead of having the permanent ones open the entire time, have them, you can do top those off and then have them put their own, the plastic ones out for a day or a certain day or two, to where you figure out, okay, this is how, or a week, say, right next to the regular trash cans. Then when they come through and pick those up, they know exactly who's throwing stuff in those blue trash cans versus the gray ones. But you'd have to cover up our existing ones in order for it to do just that.
We have homeless people come out there. They would
Yeah.
grab them, everything.
Again, my recommendation would be to just consider where do you need a recycling can? What I see more than anything is we need trash receptacles. So I don't know that this is really a conversation we have to have. Not to cut you, I'm not saying to cut you off, but I don't think that, in my opinion, unless we choose to adopt, hey, every 150 feet or every 300 feet, you have to have a recycle receptacle, which that would again be something that we would put in our standard for the downtown district ultimately. I don't know how many of those we actually need in the area that we're discussing right now, which is from Second Street down to Aaron's.
Yeah.
You don't really have a lot of businesses or restaurants that would, in my opinion, would really justify having multiple recycling bins, but that's not my decision.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a standard currently.
My thought behind that is you're gonna find a whole bunch of trash in the recycling. anyway.
That's what we find now, and that's why I'm saying I think the trash receptacles are what we should be discussing, where the placement of those.
I
will
mean,
be.
to be modernizations, we gotta look into the future too. I mean, we can't be just putting trash out there, and we need to have at least couple places where downtown offices, businesses are, where peoples are using it at the intersection, or maybe by the benches where the bench is gonna go. Maybe we have both of them. And in my opinion, I think every 100 feet is too much. Should be like where the bench is gonna go, have them trash or with the recycling or something. You know, every 100 feet, that's so many of them.
That's a great
Go
point.
ahead, Rose.
I could definitely take that back. Me and Director Hahn can get together and be more strategic about where we can put the cans and the recycles next to each other.
Yeah.
So from what I'm hearing, you guys want to see less cans? Is that what I'm hearing? Okay.
You have some question?
No.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
Ramsey.
Yes, I just have one thing we had discussed previously with Alicia. This is the kind of trash receptacle that majority of us had agreed on. We had discussed two things when it comes to color. If they are going to have the logo on them, because our downtown logo has a lot of blue in it, we said we will do them black so the logo stands out. If we're not going to put the downtown logo on them, then we want them blue because that's kind of the theme of our downtown logo. So that's just one thing I wanted to bring. The other thing is, I know we don't want to see a whole lot of trash cans, but also on High Street, at least where my office is, most of the time that trash can is full. So if we don't have enough trash cans, we're going to see it, like piling up, especially when there is a little bit of events in downtown. Maybe we can increase the number of pickups. I'm not sure, instead of the number of trash cans. Recycling, in my opinion, it's a cultural thing from experience in Selma. Not too many people pay attention to it. And yeah, the trash gets thrown in all of these. And if we really want to put one, maybe next to my maiden voyages, because they do have plastic cups when you're taking your cold cups to go. But other than that, really, people are going to just use them for trash. So that's just my.
Yeah. No,
How often they get picked up currently?
Yeah, that's every week. And then when, like I said, when we have events like last night, when my staff comes the following day, we usually empty those and put new liners in them because they're overflowing. So it's a joint effort between Public Works, street staff and the Mid Valley, our waste hauler. So we try to stay on top of that. I can tell you, I worked that event. There was a lot of candy and candy wrappers that I personally picked up. The receptacles were packed full. They were full. So I think, again, having enough, like Rams has said, I constantly struggle when I go somewhere and I have trash and I want to throw it away and I'm looking around and cannot find a trash can. It's like, you don't want the litter, but you don't have enough trash receptacles. But then I think, again, being conscious to how many that is, I think that needs
Yeah.
to be determined.
So,
I'm sorry.
we'll
Yeah,
definitely
describe-
reevaluate the
go ahead.
location. We'll reevaluate the location. That's really good feedback because those cans are always
Yeah.
full. What you're looking at is 2 cans. Director Hahn, do you want to kind of talk about the differences? And could you all kind of point me in the direction of which can you'd like to go with? Director
Quick
Hahn, could you-
question
Yeah.
on those. So when it comes to the spacing between the slats, if we go with the bigger spacing, is that just an aesthetics thing, or do you think
That's
the
exactly
liner
what
would
I
have
get
to
to,
be
yep.
replaced?
Yeah, so real quick, a couple of things. There's the cost difference on the two is that the one that's of a lesser cost, there is a spacing of the steel lats, the slats that come down to where it not only shows the liner, which is the plastic can on the inside, but it makes it easier for people to damage, tamper, mess with. They have room, they can stick something in there and pry on them. The ones that are the increased value, the slats are put so close together, it's kind of a tamper-proof. Plus, it aesthetically is more pleasing because it's hiding the liner, the gray can that's inside those are the ones that I like, but again, I always try to think about these things, especially on new assets that we're purchasing, about maintenance and tampering, people messing with them, breaking them, vandalism, and then what does it take for my staff to maintain those receptacles or assets?
Yeah. I have a questions on it. These benches is kind of works with the same kind of design because benches, the one that we were choosing it, we were looking into it, is kind of similar to these, kind of match the same scheme, right?
Yes, the metal benches are very similar in aesthetically like matching to the receptacles.
Uh-huh.
The benches are also our preference, Public Works, because they are much more tamper-proof. A lot of people like to carve into the wood and even the synthetic plastics that they're using now that have a longer life expectancy. The metal is extremely hard to carve into, and it's something like if we're going with a certain color of bench, it's something that we can easily cover up, like if somebody's carving into it with the paint. They're more sturdy, longer life expectancy, less maintenance, and we discussed previously last year doing the 6-foot benches, I believe, and we made sure that we wanted to put the armrest in the middle of them. And that prevents people from wanting to lay down and sleep on the benches. So I remember that being part of the discussion, but yeah, that is the bench that we're looking at, Mr. Soda.
Powder coated as well?
Are they
The
what?
benches, are they powder coated as
Yeah,
well?
they are powder coated, and this, again, this foundry is 100% in shop. So that shop right there in Sanger is a full operation. They design to your criteria. They'll do customs for you. There's a lot they can do, but powder coating and everything is done right there on site.
All right, so we have colors with either goes with our logo or black or blue or greens, right? So.
Comment on the colors. So if you look at the way like theme parks or high traffic areas do trash cans, it's not necessarily the amount, and if we do want to cut down on the amount but be effective, if you could subconsciously see a trash can, you're gonna more likely throw your trash in it. So if we do go with the blue ones, it's more subconscious that somebody's gonna throw their trash away rather than just let it go. So if we think about our logo and find a way to still put it on those blue ones, I feel like that's probably a better route to go because more people would just subconsciously go do it if they can see the blue
More
trash cans.
effective, yeah.
And rather than just a black one that you might walk by and not think about throwing your trash away at that moment.
Again, I'm open to whatever the committee
green
recommends.
and
We just
blue
look at maintenance and longevity of the product, so.
So if the standard can is blue, what would the recycling can be?
So those are the colors. Typically compost or green waste is green, your trash is gray or black, and your recycle is blue.
Blue, yeah.
So, it doesn't mean that you can't have blue for the color for trash cans. I think it would be identifying if we're gonna put like the city logo on it, maybe on the side or something, having it say trash. Having something to identify, like this isn't a recycling, it's a trash can. I don't think it's gonna matter. I'll be honest with you again. If they see a receptacle and they have any kind of trash, it's just gonna go in there and that's it. So,
All right, so if I can get a consensus on which receptacle we want to go with, what color we want to go with, and to Rams's point, the downtown Selma logo on it, right? Full color. Okay, so what are we thinking?
I was thinking on the first
Do we
one.
need, do we need any input from the public before we make
Oh,
the
yeah,
motion?
yeah, let's do that.
Is there any public inputs? Amir, anything? All right. Jim Goff.
You know, the colors, for pickup from Mid Valley, everything in town and even at our homes, they're color blue for recycle, gray for trash. Let's not make it any harder on them. I mean, they're trying to comply with the law that just came out not too long ago about trash. If we start changing the colors, then they don't have time to be going around, oh yeah, that's trash. You know, when they go through my house, if it's gray, guess what that is? That's trash, right? So, like Director Han said, we could put any purple, whatever, but we gotta make it easy for the people that are going through the street and dumping their trash. That's it.
All right, thank you.
So this is the Arts District, so just, I think whatever you guys pick should just coalesce with that. I think it should reflect that. I think it's a great discussion. I don't think you can make a wrong decision. But, yeah, blue and blue, you know, everybody associates blue with recycling. But like, Citizen Osagara was saying, like, no one's gonna say, oh, is that recycle or trash? You're just gonna throw it in. That's just what happens. That's practical experience. So, I mean, I think separate containers are good, but I don't think it matters a whole lot what color you designate for them, just because people are not gonna differentiate between them. But it's a great positive step.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, I just want to say, you know,
Name and address.
city manager, I live here. It's Justin, yes. But yes, the color is important, and it is a requirement for the state regulations related to gray, green, blue. So you want to keep those you know, consistent throughout your area. Additionally, you should consider pairing them with trash with recyclable as well, so that way people know the difference as well. As we know, we have SB 1065, which is the mandatory recycling, and then we have 1383, which is the organics and everything, which we have to comply with. And Mid-Valley does track those numbers because those numbers have to be reported to the state, and you can't have cross-contamination moving forward. So anything that we can do to help highlight that and make sure that people are throwing stuff in the right containers is what we should move forward with. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good input. I mean, if you're gonna have three of those compartments is required by the state, we could have on a certain streets on them, and the rest of them are just a trash.
My thought, because we have black benches in downtown and black streetlights, the nicer ones that are painted black, that we go with black trash bins, the one with where the spacers are closer together, so tamper-proof, above the cement a little bit to avoid rust, all of that, so for longevity. And then if we need to add recycling, we just do the blue one. And that will be clear indication if we have a black and a blue, that that's trash, that's recycling, since that's kind of what everybody's state of mind is. When you see blue, it's recycling. And then, yeah, decide on strategically where we want them placed and how many based on walking downtown and kind of maybe walking 100 feet and seeing, okay, is that too long if I have trash in my hand between two containers?
The
Something
motion.
like that. Yeah, I mean, that's just my thought. That's my motion. If everybody, want to discuss or.
So I hear a motion for less cans, black cans with the full color logo, the blue cans to recycle. Is that what you're?
My input is I like that, the black trash, perfect. And for the recycling, instead of having one, have them three in it. And there are people, they sells those metal, have them into three different ones.
Before you go down, I'd like to second her motion. Then
We're just discussing
Yeah.
it. We have second, we got a
Before we
motion and a
discuss,
second. Anybody want to discuss anything? Michael?
Would you please make that motion to include the rain canopies over the top?
Oh, that's what.
That was the other
Yeah.
thing that we really would like to instate as part of
Yeah.
this.
No, definitely. Just, I'm looking at the picture, sorry, and I should have said that. Yes, with the rain canopy on top, that is a big deal.
Got
You're talking about the first one, right? There's two of them.
It's
the
the
shorter
metal
one,
thing
correct?
that's above the can.
The can.
That's
Yeah.
the ring canopy.
Right.
So the quote that he provided does include everything in that image.
Does it keep the one that keeps it up off the ground as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So he updated the quote from 2023 for us the other day. So what that price is everything included, including the design, I believe.
All right.
All right, any other discussion we have? Only I would say the recycling one, I wasn't sure. The blue is only one, but it's state mandatory, need the other ones too. So
I thought we were going
I'm
with the
just
single.
going with what Director Han is saying, that if we do put them all together, they're gonna end up being all three
Oh.
trash. Because no one is paying attention. So if somebody is really paying attention, at least they'll go to the blue and
Yes.
throw, yeah.
Right, and I'm not gonna dispute what the city manager said, but I believe that is correct. Those are the colors identified by the state law and state of California. I believe there's an option if you identify it, trash or recycling, because towns have different color schemes in their downtown areas. I believe that that's an option, but I would have to check into it to make sure I wasn't saying something that was
Yeah.
inappropriate after he made that comment, but I think that it might be an option.
yeah, because I was at the conference last week at the school, same thing, they're making it mandatory. And have them three different ones. So we don't want to be, we spending this much money on it. We don't want to again says, oh, shoot, we spend all this money and if you weren't able to use it, yeah.
I think that that's wise, and I have to say, piggybacking on to what the city manager said about SB 1383,
Right.
we are going through implementation of that whole thing. It is new to the state, but in a year or two, they will start enforcing that.
Couple of years.
So it's something down the road that needs to be considered if you have restaurants that are putting food out.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, it's usually the organic waste is in front of restaurants.
Yeah. We'll let the city decide it on the recycling one. We have a motion, we get a second. All favors say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody pose? All right, motion approved anonymously. All right, moving into the Christmas trees.
Thank you, Director Han. I appreciate it.
Say thank you to everyone, city staff, council, everyone who's had us in their thoughts and prayers for our loss last week. We really appreciate it and continue praying for our group.
Thank you. Thank you so much coming into our meeting.
Yes, so we're on the Christmas tree item. During a recent council meeting, Mayor Pro Tem Garris suggested placing Christmas trees in the existing tree wells downtown to enhance the holiday atmosphere. The bid was asked to consider whether this is a feasible for the current season. If you're unfamiliar, it's the tree wells that branch out into the parking stalls. We're talking about that one where there's a tree planted currently. The discussion is, well, so I'll give you some background. That should have been background. I went to Nelson's Ace Hardware. They have great sales on Christmas trees, by the way. But they did not have, there's 8 tree wells there. They did not have 8 of the same kind of tree. They had different types of trees. I checked online, Home Depot, and they had 8 of the 7-foot festive pine LED tree. You can, if you have this in your email, you can click that link. We could get them and they would be delivered and, and we'd have to pick them up. I'd work with Public Works to figure out what that looks like because there is electricity in those wells. So there's 8 of them and these are pre-lit trees. So the recommended action is to provide direction if the bid should move forward with purchasing the trees for the downtown wells, tree wells, or seek additional vendors or defer the project to another year. Those are the only 2 options I looked into. I could look into Lowe's if you guys want me to, but I figured Home Depot and Nelson's was the first one. So
The Home Depot usually can, if you ask for 8 and they only have 6 in stock here, get 2 from another Home Depot.
Oh yeah, they
Can-
will.
They could do that for us,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, they would. It would just,
And depending on which way we go, if it does happen today, we do vote for them. They would be placed in by Public Works. Is that correct?
I would check with city manager.
Yeah, with that said, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because of the loss of Jose, the person that they wanted to do a in honor of him with those trees, since he was always so bubbly around the trees. Of course, you would have to check with, the director and the city manager and to do something with that, but, somebody had mentioned maybe, dedicated to him on if we do move forward with that.
Another question I have, if we do move forward, it's a great idea. I like it. But if we do move forward, considering today is December 8th, how fast can they put them so we can enjoy them before Christmas?
I would have to do the payment online or with them in the store and wait for them to be delivered, hand them off to Public Works. I don't have a timeline for that. It is a little bit late in the season.
Yeah, just kind of checking probably with Director Han if they can make it a priority. Let's
Mhm.
say we purchase them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can they be up by end of the week, or do they have other priorities on their list?
Yeah,
So,
I'll talk to them. I'm not
the-
sure what
something
their,
of the
what their
sort.
decoration, team looks like to do that, but I will definitely talk to
And
them.
also with that quickly, those will be something we could always use every year, correct?
Yes.
That's just
Starting
something we
to
could put away, maybe not always in the same spot, but change it up every
Yes,
year. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And do they need to be secured?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, can they be chained to the ground so people can't pick them up and walk away with them?
Could put air tags
So-
to
Yeah.
tag them.
To be secure?
It sounds like the idea was just to plug it in. I don't know about security. I don't know if you could chain it or tie it down.
I think at the end of the day, we need to stop worrying about that. I think with the PD just down the street and a lot of cameras with the businesses, I had, a business come and put pumpkins in front of our, building. It was a nice stack on both ends and nobody touched them. So I think we just gotta give it a shot and maybe put air tags on them and let them know, when you do a video or something, let them know they're being tagged. And we can find out where they are if somebody even thinks about it.
Jose, what is the budget you're looking at it? $1,000, 2,000, 3,000 max?
The trees from Home Depot, are currently 99 each.
I mean, you need lighting and all that stuff too.
No, they're pretty lit.
They're pretty lit.
They're pretty
I
lit.
just want to make sure, okay.
it's about 8.
It's a 7-foot festive pine LED pre-lit artificial tree. So
So that's
7.
why it's 800 plus tax.
So can we say $1,000, 1,500?
Yeah.
Just be
1,000.
careful, okay. Because they need somebody square on the bottom too, or something, I hope. It does come with it.
I'll make a motion to move forward with that.
Get it?
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody pose? All right.
Just Jose, like I said, make sure they push for it to happen this week. If not,
Yeah.
something great for next year.
Are
but-
they for outdoor use?
Oh, that's a good point. Double check. I thought it was indoor outdoor, but let me double check.
Oh, we forgot.
Sorry.
You're getting new trees. bud.
Uh-oh, no more trees.
Let me share that with Public Works to make sure.
Yes, please.
I have a question. Who's gonna decorate the trees? Is it gonna be Public Works or who?
It's already come with
So
the.
there will be no decorations. It'll be
There-
trees with lights on them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Crazy.
Yes, sir.
It's a great idea. It's awesome. Put trees in there. I think those wells are gonna be populated with, like the director said, with other stuff. Things are gonna put in there. I don't think they've decided what exactly is gonna go in there, but maybe some shrubs, maybe some plants.
Wow.
So it'd be important to make sure that the trees will fit there next year, or could they be used
I
in
think
other locations?
We could move someone.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we put them in different spots. We'll find.
We'll make it work.
All right. The item number 6, Grinch Mess, Entertainment.
Yes, this is another action item. Grinchmas is this Saturday, hosted by Sparks as well as our organization. I've been collaborating the vendors on that end, and Sparks is getting the Grinch. One of the things that comes with the partnership is we would cover the music. You look at the discussion, Happy Sound Music is the children's music school. They'll be performing for a short time in the downtown area. But along with that, I got a quote from Alondra Martinez, who's a vocalist. She sings with the Morenos a lot of the time. Really good vocalist. Her rate is to sing 150 per hour. She does a lot of holiday music. She has a holiday set list, so it has like a holiday theme. to match the Grinchmas event. The event is actually from 11 to 2. I was just notified today it's going to be a little bit shorter. But her performance time is still going to be 2 hours. So she'll be performing from 12 to 2, I believe, for a total cost of $300 for her performance. And it's just part of the collaboration with the Sparks team to promote the Grinch.
Any
Grinchmas.
questions on it? May I get a motion?
Make a motion?
Second.
Public comment?
Comments?
I'll second it so we
Public
can have
comment?
discussion.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Aye.
No. You said aye, no?
No,
I know.
I was late.
No, we consider aye, everybody. All right, staff updates. This is the time for the staff to present any updates on ongoing bid programs.
I don't have an update other than Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. I appreciate working with you all. It's been a great time. I feel like we made a lot of headway in this year. We've made a lot of progress working together as a team collaboratively, whether it's a simple sharing on social media. Ramza and Parminder have bigger followings than the downtown page, where you're donating, whether you're handing out candy. Everybody taking part in this effort really shows the community sees us, and they really love the events and the things that we're bringing to the downtown area. So I appreciate working with you all and having your support this year.
And I just had one question in regards to the application to renew my committee status.
Absolutely. I got an email from the city clerk. Some of you are coming up on expired terms. We'll go through the process of reopening the application, and you can reapply. If you choose not to reapply, that's okay as well. But it sounds like there will be a couple of vacancies coming up in the year. And if you want to know who's up for renewal, it is on the website. It's on the bid section of it. There's several of you that are up on 1/1/2026. I don't think you're up, Ramsey. I think you're up later in the year. Yeah.
But what happened to our conversation of extending it, making it a 2 year instead of 1 year?
Absolutely.
What do
That's
we have?
going to council as a first reading, probably the second meeting of January. I have to develop the staff report on that, and that'll go to council, and then it goes for a public hearing, and then it goes on and on because we're changing the municipal code.
Yeah.
But it is different than the other commissions. The other commissions have longer terms. We were looking
Right.
at that earlier today, and this is the only one that doesn't have a 2-year term.
Correct. It's the
So-
only one with 1 year, and it feels like it's a chore.
Yeah.
To reapply every year.
Oh, definitely. That is coming in the second meeting of January. I'll prepare that for the council meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And will that also be new officers when the new, okay,
For the
Thank you.
first year, first meeting in January, we could revisit what the officers look like.
okay, thank you.
All right, request future agenda items. Anybody from our members?
I got a few. If we could go back to the storefront improvements, I was kind of glancing at that, and if we can confirm, paint is not on there. We discussed paint. The logos, if we could add, logos, because, with the paint, we did, our paint on our facade of the building was 3,000. The logo was 1,000. And I will say windows is too, as well, because, we got quotes for our windows, and it was like $9,000 for, just windows itself. And, when we had the bid come tell us that our logo was looking pretty bad, we had just the logo changed out. And when they put that logo, it was like a brand new window. So thank God we didn't go get new windows. Also, so I would like to put that on the agenda if we have to vote to add the paint, because it's not on there. We did discuss paint and we approved the paint. But I'd like to add logos and windows. And then also discuss more involvement, the bid being involved with the parade, and vote for that, so we could, with also with the city and the chamber, to help out, be one of those collaboration partnership with them to make our Christmas parade much nicer and brighter. And also I'd like to put on the January, we're going to be having a meeting in January, correct? I'd like to put on the agenda to possibly maybe purchase or ask businesses. So to put something for February, month of February, lights out. At that, be a little different from other towns. We could start with either having a certain amount to purchase lights, but also start with asking businesses if they be interested after the Christmas trees, after they see the Christmas trees. We'd like to maybe implement and put on the agenda for February and do something with a lot of hearts and something on High Street. Thank you.
Can I get some clarity on that? What do you want me to ask the businesses? I'm sorry.
I would like to have on the agenda to add asking businesses if they like to decorate for February, hearts, lights back on that tree or in that area of the tree wells. So we could always have different months of decorative lights out on High Street. And hopefully, go down other streets, but start with High Street and see what kind of input we get from businesses. I think we could start with asking the businesses at first. I'd be one of them to do February.
Redecorating.
Redecorating.
Trees that we just.
Yes,
put up.
redecorate in
So
February.
basically,
So the trees are
the trees that we have for Christmas
Uh-huh.
get reinstalled for the month of February and decorated
Oh,
for with
Wait.
hearts.
You want the
oh,
Christmas
but
trees up?
we could add that. I didn't mean the trees. I wanted to
Saying as a
do
discussion.
as a
item.
discussion. If we want to go with trees and decorate them with hearts, that's okay too. But I was looking at maybe decoration of lights of hearts, maybe be creative and be part of that. And I have not seen hearts in any downtowns, cities. So hopefully with the bid, we could be the first with the support of the city. And if that means we have to purchase some lights to make it all match on the tree wells, then that's what we want to do. But that's why I want to put it on the agenda in case we do need to purchase some lights. But I think some of us businesses would want to decorate, and I may have two already businesses that would want to do February because it's different.
So,
And-
about that, if we want to discuss it, I've seen some businesses keeping a tree, not a Christmas tree, but a tree. Like, sometimes it's only dead branches and they decorated for each holiday. So it would be hearts for Valentine's, Easter eggs and butterflies around, Easter. Then for July, for the 4th of July, they do an independence theme with red, white, and blue, that kind of stuff. So if we want to do something like that in downtown, it's something to discuss that, if we want to make use of those tree wells that are on the sidewalks and we want to keep light and, electricity running through there and water for future use, one of the uses could be that we have an item placed there for each holiday or season. And that gives the downtown the looks that, hey, we're all decorated for that month, whatever that month. might be.
There's no electricity in those planters. These are only the lights we have, those nice lights. That's where they could hang up those.
Yeah.
Not on the planters.
Okay, well, I mean, whichever way we want it, but that's just, that's
We could discuss that.
basically what Rose is saying to add on that agenda is if we can discuss something where we can decorate in downtown per season instead of just Christmas.
All right. Anybody else?
I'd just say to revisit the budget, just to know where we're at, how many trash cans we can purchase with whatever we budgeted for them.
I have another, we need to look at those grants. I know we decided not to apply for the grant, so it gives other businesses to apply for the facade. Has anybody applied for those grants for the facades? Do we know? In fact, we could get an update if anybody has applied for those grants yet.
Nobody's applied for the.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, you got 4 items.
I think that the facade grant ties back into revisiting.
No, wait for the next meeting. All right, we got the roses item. Anybody else?
I have some, or more of a question than an item if it's
Sure.
not a thing.
Okay.
So do we have like a specific, annual calendar of events that we do? Like, has the bid done that like specifically?
We locked in our food truck Friday events And, what other events did we lock in? We had tentative dates for some of those things, 2 or 3 meetings ago. I'll
Okay.
bring it to the next to the next meeting and we'll have it on like a calendar of like
Okay,
where we're at.
That's what I was gonna ask for my item, to we have them next time, bring it in a goal for next year.
Yeah.
What do we?
We already put all the dates together, like everything's locked in, so we just gotta present that.
I might not be here next meeting. I'm in India, so.
Okay, wow,
You know,
safe travels.
I could zoom in.
At like 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's it. All right, if there's nothing else, may I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion, make a motion.
All right, there's second. All in favor, say aye. Aye, aye. Anybody opposed? Well, you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everything. Be safe out there.